You made a statement, which I found to be pretty amazing, which was, you have no intention of enforcing this law. Do you want to amplify that? As sheriff of that county, does that fall into your purview, or are there campus cops that take care of that, or does the city take care of that?
No, there's campus law enforcement officers that will enforce their rules and the regulations and the statute. My position is I took an oath to the Constitution and I took an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Colorado, not CSU's policies and procedures and their rules. So my position is if somebody is lawfully carrying on campus in accordance with the state law, that if they can take what action they want at the university, but I'm not going to be party to it. They're not coming in my jail. I'm not going to take any action against their permit. I'm not going to suspend or revoke their permit. And if they proceed to trial with it, I'll be the first one on the witness stand as a defense witness in that case.
Does that put you in some sort of danger here? I mean, you're putting yourself out. You're the sheriff.
That's familiar territory for me if you followed my career. But and it's a principled position, and that's where I'm operating on.
But have they broken a law?
What they have, I think CSU, and I'm kind of backing up to the legal aspect of it. I think CSU has policies that, okay, if it's a student, they could probably suspend them, they could throw them off of campus. For somebody who's not a student, it's really questionable. I think the district attorney has opined that they might not be able to prosecute anybody that isn't a student. You know, they could say that you may be carrying in violation of a rule, so you're trespassing, you know, you have to leave or else we'll charge you with trespassing. That would be a class 3 misdemeanor, you know, slap on the wrist. But very little teeth in it.
I think they're breaking a rule, not a law. I mean, you're saying the campus makes rules while you're on there. The campus doesn't make any laws.
I think that's a good point, but they can certainly fire.
They can just take you off of campus.
They can take you off campus. They can expel you. They can fire you if you're a faculty or staff member.
And they can do that at at my newspaper too. I mean,
right, but your newspaper is a private institution. This is not a private college. This is a government college.
Yes.
All right. So let's.
For the non-student personnel, they don't have, the rules don't really apply to them. They don't have anything they can do except to charge them criminally with some violation.
So a parent comes to visit.
Parent
comes to visit the kid. He's packing heat legally.
Right.
He's in violation and might not even know it.
Right.
All right.
Even the way the law, they've written this thing so loose, if you drive down one of the campus streets and you've got the gun in your glove box, you're in violation.
Let me bring into a woman called up my radio program. She's a CSU student. She says she's over 21. She has a permit, and she takes night classes. And so to come back to her parking lot, and she said, she's 100 pounds when her hair is wet, and she said, now I have to choose between breaking the rules, risking being expelled, from her point of view, breaking the law, or my safety. And so let me put out this hypothetical. Now that she has been forced to disarm in order to take a class there, if harm comes to her, does she have the ability to say, well, I was protecting myself, you guys stopped me from protecting myself, haven't we made it less safe? I know you talk about culture, but let's bring it down to that woman, that individual.
Less safe? I don't know if she's less safe or not.
Yeah.
But my question is, if she's attacked and if she's raped, if she's brutalized, she says, I would have defended myself a week ago. Now I can't because you took away the gun.
I think there's the good legal argument there that might be the case. I suspect CSU or CU would be able to hide behind some sort of thing, and Governmental Immunity Act that doesn't apply to them. But when the law was passed on concealed carry, that issue came up about what about in buildings? What about if they want to come to the sheriff's office or they want to come to the courthouse or some other building? I said, okay, you can prohibit people from concealed weapons if you take these steps to ensure their safety, make sure everybody's on an even footing. This concealed weapon permit holder can't have a gun, but neither can the bad guy, because you will be required to provide a lock box for them to lock up your gun. You'll have to screen everybody coming in, have a magnetometer, make sure that everybody is complying with the rule. And that's the rule in the courthouse. That's the rule you come into the jail. That's the rule you come into our headquarters. But CU just kind of goes, we're not going to do that part of it. So I think they may have created some liability.
What do you tell that woman? I mean, what do you tell that woman who?
Let me say two things. One, she gets to have pepper spray. She gets to have a lot of defensive weapons that she can carry with her. Two, let me ask you a question.
Only guy from the city would say pepper spray is going to do the same as a 357.
You're more likely to be attacked by assaulted than you are to be killed on campus. There just aren't that many shooting deaths on campus aside from the lunatic shooting deaths. Let me ask you a question. You know, we're in a classroom, and you know, I see stories all the time of cops who, you know, shoot somebody accidentally, or they shoot the wrong guy, or they shoot a guy who's pulled out a cigarette lighter rather than a gun. And the rule is, and I think the right rule, not arguing with it at all, is that the cop felt in danger. It's a very tough job. I've been invited to do this thing where where they ask you to react, you know, and it's very hard. I mean, you know, certainly if you're not trained, that you're trained, you know, and even how many times in your life have you come into this situation where you've had to fire a gun at somebody?
Couple.
Yeah, not very many though, right?
Many.
It's, you know, it's not something that you do every day, and people who don't ever come into that, they're probably not. So I'm saying cops who are trained to do this, they make mistakes in this all the time. They shoot wrong people all the time.
But isn't there a fundamental difference? These guys go into a dangerous situation. Most people run away from a dangerous situation.
What I'm saying is, no, but the idea of saying bringing these into a classroom is, so say some lunatic shoots at the teacher, so then you have 7 other people with guns in there. They'll be firing at this guy and firing at that guy and firing at this guy. I don't see anything evidence that suggests that is a safer way to go than what we have today.
Well, first, let me jump on that. One, it hasn't happened, so I haven't seen it happen. If you've seen it happen, let me know.
It hasn't happened,
but 2,
so.
You haven't told me what you would tell the woman who called my show, saying, you know, if she has a stalker boyfriend, if she has a problem, if she's been raped because of it, what do you tell her afterwards when you say, well, I agreed with their ability to take away their gun?
You know, I've gone into a lot of dangerous situations. I don't carry a gun in them. You know, I don't have my daughter. I have a daughter. She doesn't
so in other words,
she works on a campus. She doesn't carry a gun with her around.
That's her
the
choice.
Campus.
But you are denying a choice, and this is what the fundamental disagreement I think between conservatives and liberals. I don't want to take away their choice. If she wants to carry the gun legally, I want her to have that choice. Why should she not have that choice?
People firing guns at other people. That's why I don't think it's not simply.
I want guns being fired at bad guys, and overwhelmingly, if you read the research from economists like John Lott, you find that guns stop crime often, most of the time, without the trigger ever being pulled. Let's bring it in here. We've only got a couple minutes left.
Okay. You know, I agree with you, obviously, John, on this. You know, if you keep it concealed, it isn't people shooting each other on campus. They're not pulling out guns. They're not doing any of that stuff. It's concealed. What difference is it? As long as you keep it safe and you keep it concealed, why should that bother anybody? I mean, I'm packing today. I don't know if you feel offended by that or frightened.
I trust you. You're a trained professional.
You know, and the thing
I don't trust him.
I don't trust Caldara.
The thing is, while I'm sitting there with my hands on the table, that gun isn't going to go off any more than it would if a student's carrying it in the classroom. But if there's a dangerous situation, that student's life is endangered, he feels endangered, shouldn't he have the right to protect himself? I argue that he should.
We have to do this one really quickly, but let's wrap up on this. When it comes to Virginia Tech and other crazy shootings, the bad guy, the crazy guy, knows that nobody's going to have a gun there. Right. Do you find that to be...
There are people who have guns on campus.
Only the campus cops, but he knows for certain the librarian, the teacher, the student doesn't have a cop. Do you find that it is a preventative medicine to help discourage that guy?
I think it is. I mean, where do you see these things happening? They're happening on college campuses, they're happening in schools, they're happening in churches, places where you don't typically find guns. You know, we don't find them happening in the lobby of the sheriff's office.
Well, we did find it happen at New Hope Church, and it was a chick with a concealed weapons permit down in the Springs that brought an end to that, to a shooting spree.
I'll tell you where they do happen. They happen between gangs all the time, and each side is fully armed and fully
we're talking
ready
about college
to go.
campuses. There's not too many gangs on college campuses.
And they don't have permits. That's, I think we need to
Yeah, but
look at what
we're talking about the idea, the essence of whether having the gun makes you more safe or not. And you're saying people without permits would be afraid to come onto campus and shoot somebody because they think other students are armed. Right. And I'd like to see
that's going to be the last word on that.
Okay.
Littwin, thank you for coming. Sheriff, thank you for coming. And to the Board of Governors and CSU, shame on you for not coming. You voted on it. I'd like to know why. Give me a call and we'll get you on.
He's right.
He is right. Litwin says I'm right.
I can't believe that.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
You jabba jab, bamboozle, nuka noozle, bippity bob, she-call. I mean, you keep on talking, but you don't know where to turn it off.